Let me also bring on board Jamal Mecklai, Chief Executive Officer with Mecklai Financial Services. Jamal, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Jamal, rupee on Friday closed at a one-month high, but today some degree of volatility has kicked in. So what is disturbing the rupee or the dollar rupee market? News flow from Cyprus, or this is pure profit booking?
No. I mean, it's obviously the dollar has strengthened sharply because of the Cyprus problem. So that is reflected directly here. I mean, in any case, if you're looking at sort of the medium term, I mean, recently there have been some positive moves that has pushed the rupee stronger. There's some domestic sentiment is a little bit better. But ultimately, the market is the market, So if the dollar gets stronger overseas, rupee will weaken.
So what is the market telling you? Is rupee headed higher or lower in the near term?
In the near term, I don't know anything. In the medium term, I think the rupee is medium term, meaning 4, 5, 6 months. I think the rupee will be lower.
Jamal, the RBI has, however, maintained that the rupee is going to be in the band of 52 to 56. Under what circumstances do you think that the rupee can breach and weaken below 56 levels?
Well, see, I think 52 I never heard. I thought 53 to 56 was the range, but that's where it's been, and that's where, anything positive will move it towards the stronger part of that range. Like, for example, everyone expects a rate cut tomorrow and things like that. But I'm saying that basically the current account deficit is not going away, right? So it really depends, and what can breach either barrier is some dramatic bad news either domestically or globally. So now let us say today what we have seen, right? The rupee was actually moving towards the stronger thing. It got a fatka from overseas. It's weakened a little. I'm not going to go to 56 right now, right? It maybe go to 54, 50 or something like that. Now, if it's in the weaker side of the range when some bad news, of course it'll break the 56 level. Now, and my sense is, we have lots of issues, right? We have got politics, after all, which is also can create disturbances. And I said, right now, domestic sentiment is actually better than it has been for a long time. But over the next 6, 8 months, we know there's going to be some wobble. So I think the real trick, though, is that for people who have to buy dollars, forward premiums are very high. So if people are reluctant to pay because, 56 is still far away. 56 is 2 rupees or 1 rupee 80 paisa away. 57, 58, 59 will be declining. So it's a difficult situation for risk management. People need to use options. They need to use call spreads and things of that nature.
Jamal, we are focusing on the bad news, but what about the good news? Good news here is that there is a strong policy tailwind. Global commodity prices have also corrected, and for most of the macro watchers for FY14, the base effect would also kick in.
No, absolutely agree. Particularly, one of the reasons I feel, I've been for some time expecting a much stronger dollar overseas. Now, but that is not uniformly negative for the rupee, right? Because as you said, commodity prices, gold will come down, oil will come down, so our imports will come down. But what I feel, and the other thing is that, but then the flip side is if the U.S. economy starts to improve, U.S. interest rates might start to go up, let's say over the next 6, 8, 10 months, right? So that would sort of reduce, if you will, the flows, right? So there are many, many forces playing. I mean, the reality is that and then all of that is sort of overlaid, if you will, by the fact that, come on, Mr. Chidambaram is trying very hard to get the deficit under control, but it's a big job, right? And whether we're going to manage that or not, my real concern is really how the politics is going to play out over the next couple of years. So I'm saying that we don't have a free ride. We don't have an easy ride. And I don't see anything happening globally that can really get people excited. Things were looking good. Suddenly Europe has started wobbling, right? I mean, Cyprus is a small thing, but still it's saying, Baba, ye kahani ab tak hai. So I'm saying that normally I'm sort of an unabashed optimist. Maybe it's a good sign that I'm getting a little bit nervous because markets only really turn, sentiment only really turns when everybody goes in one direction or the other. So who knows?
What is it that you are expecting from the RBI policy tomorrow in terms of a CRR and a repo rate cut? Do you think a 25 basis point cut is inevitable, or is there scope for the RBI to say nothing doing and we see a status quo policy as well?
No. I think a cut is necessary. In fact, the other day over the weekend, I was thinking, boy, it would be great if he surprises everybody and does a 50-point cut. But, it's a really I don't think that. I think it'll be 25 points. But, he's got a tough job. I remember after the last credit policy, I met him on a flight. And the first thing I said to him was, congratulations, everybody tells you you're wrong. But, the reality is you don't know what is going to be the impact of any monetary policy for some time. Yet people jump on it, like it's an easy job. They know what everybody has to do. It's not an easy job. It's a tough job, but I think he will cut rates by a quarter percent.
Jamal, you're making a case for 50, but Morgan Stanley today has made a case that there will be no rate cut on 19th of March. What happens in that scenario if we get nothing tomorrow?
Well, I guess the rupee will be support. Right? It's simple. I think that, ultimately a large part of policy making is, you have to go a little bit with your gut, and when things are moving positively, you've got to put force behind it, right? Inflation appears to be coming down. It's not over, like I said, the battle is far from won. It will never be sort of over. But I think, to my mind, I'd be very surprised if there was no rate cut.
So, final question, Jamal, for all those who are planning a long summer holiday to Europe or to US, is it time to buy now or they should buy after 1 month?
Europe, of course, you wait, because you might get any sort of level for the euro. But the rupee, I would say, 53, 50, 54 are good levels in my view. You're not going to get the top of the market, right? So I would buy. I would start buying right now.
Just in case you didn't get it, that question
I'm talking about spot. I'm talking about spot, right? Not the forward.
Okay, Jamal, really appreciate your time and thank you for joining us.